In Afghanistan, they have offered that they are ready to hand over Osman bin Laden to Saudi Arabia if United States drops its sanctions and they have some kind of deal that they want to make with the United States. Do you have any comments?
Let me take that and get back to you on that.
Our position in this regard is that if America have evidence and proofs, they should produce it, and we are ready for the trial of Osama bin Laden in the light of evidence.
Are you willing to hand Osama bin Laden to the United States or no?
No.
Without evidence, no.
Public evidence so that, the average citizen, not just Americans, but people all over the world can understand the case against
Well, I
bin
think
Laden?
as Secretary Powell said, there's hope to do that and to do so in a timely fashion over some course of time. But I think the American people also understand that there are going to be times when that information cannot immediately be forthcoming, and the American people seem to be accepting of that.
It's public evidence so that, the average citizen, not just Americans, but people all over the world can understand the case against
Well, I
bin
think
Laden?
as Secretary Powell said, there's hope to do that and to do so in a timely fashion over some course of time. But I think the American people also understand that there are going to be times when that information cannot immediately be forthcoming, and the American people seem to be accepting of that.
It seems as though you're asking everyone to trust you.
Are you aware of the report at the time that ISI chief was in Washington on September 11 and on September 10th, $100,000 was wired from Pakistan to these groups here in this area? And why he was here? Was meeting with you or anybody in the administration?
I have not seen that report, and he was certainly not meeting with me. Yes?
Has not been able to determine the origin of the money used in the 9/11 attacks. Ultimately, the question is of little practical significance, end quote. How can you state that the question of who bankrolled the deaths of 3,000 American people on September 11th is, quote, of little practical significance?
Because it costs so little money. That's the awful thing about it. It costs less than $500,000. That's why it was so hard to trace. We were able to find pieces of the $500,000, but it came in very small pieces.
And you said earlier $500,000 to do the 9/11 operation. Well, we know that $100,000 was wired to Muhammad Atta directly from the head of Pakistani ISI.
Well, I'm not aware of $100,000. The Pakistan, I think, is the most dangerous country in the world.
That there were not weapons of mass destruction there.
You said you knew where they were.
I did not know where they are. They're in the area around Tikrit and Baghdad and east, west, south, and north somewhat.
Given about weapons of mass destruction in Iraq was
inaccurate and wrong, and in some cases deliberately misleading.
My fellow citizens, not only can we win the war in Iraq, we are winning the war in Iraq.